All right, the sphere of control. Control is kind of a funny thing when you really explore it a lot further. It's something that we are always trying to have, and often we're really focusing on the things that we can't actually control. We're trying to control the uncontrollables, and that's where a lot of frustration, reaction, disappointment, like a lot of the negative can come from, and these things are really avoidable. When we start to focus on the things that are in our control and release the rest of that shit, that's when we can be actually in control and a lot happier and a lot more positive. So, this exercise is going to go over how we can really reel in the things that we can control and start to release the things that we can't. This visual shows the sphere of control. So, this really big, darker green circle is the things we have no control over. These are outside of our control. They're outside of our influence. It's a lot of things. Then inside there, this lighter green circle, this is where we have some control. There's some things that we can influence here. And then this yellow circle, the smaller one, this is where you have total control. What you can truly control. So really looking at what in your life do you have total control over, what do you have some control over, and what do you have no control over. So what I would ask you to do is draw this on your piece of paper, in your journal, this big circle, a medium one, and then a smaller one inside the medium one. As we look at what are the actual factors here, we're seeing, okay, so in our total control in the yellow zone, we are in control of our behaviors, our attitude, our words, our actions, our decisions and choices, our hobbies, our thoughts, how we respond. Okay, all of these things are within your control. They're all of your choosing in how you approach them. The things that are some control and you have influence on, however, you don't have total control over them. Things like job promotions, your health, the people in your life, your performance, other people's attitudes. You can influence these things. You have some control here, but you don't have total control. And then a lot of the things on the outside, the things you really have no control over. The weather, what the economy is like, what other people think, how other people behave, illness, bad drivers, like there's so many other things in that I have no control over sphere. And very often we try to control these things, or we try to control aspects of the things, and it's always going to lead to you not being in your most powerful position because you have no power there. There is literally no control that you have. And when you try to control the uncontrollables, inevitably you're going to fail, and there is no way to get better at it. And it's going to be really frustrating and really negative. So starting to reel in and focus on the things that you are in control of and working to control those. And then the things that you have some control over, really digging into them and thinking about what you do have control over in those situations, what influence you have. A lot of that comes from these places, the total control. what is out of your control and that you just got to push out and release. And then the things that are totally out of your control that you need to let go if you want to actually make progress. So use this in the circles that you've drawn. Fill them in with specifics for you, things that you're noticing. Get specific in the behaviors, the attitudes, your actions. You can use this with very specific circumstances in your life. If you're really starting to notice that things are super frustrating, you're not making progress, draw these spheres and write in specifically what you are in control of here, what you have some control over, and then what you really don't have control over here. And remembering that if you always have choices, and you can always choose to try to control the uncontrollables, and knowing deeply that when you choose to do that, you're giving away your power. And you can always take back your power and go into this yellow sphere.